This is a team random. Alrighty, here we go. This is break 810. The 2020 Chronicles hobby and the 21 Contenders draft picks team random. Let's rock and roll with this one. Let's see how many times we are going to randomize this bad boy. Five times. Two, three, 4, and 5. Alrighty, let's run this down. We have the Kenneth getting the Bengals, Matt with the Colts, Haley with the Chargers, Haley with the Dolphins, and Haley with the Washington football team and the Eagles. What a break for Haley. Alrighty, we'll open all these and then we'll just go back and forth between the Contenders draft picks and the Chronicles hobby. And folks, I don't have my sheet of players in front of me because I thought I was finally done with these draft pick ones. I should have realized this. So I'll do my very best. If I don't know it, don't worry about that because it will get sorted correctly because we look up all of them. Alrighty. A little Jonathan Taylor right there of the Colts, Derek Carr of the Raiders, Ronald Jones of the Packers, Travis Kelce right there. And then our first one is going to be Mr. Trey Lance of the San Francisco 49ers going to Jonathan, followed by Jamar Chase of the Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase of the Cincinnati Bengals, followed up by Campus Legends Peyton Manning, a little Mr. Kyle Trask of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then we have a Mac Diddley Jones. Kyle Trask of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to Marvin. Mac Jones of the New England Patriots headed to Jason. Then we have a Tylan Wallace, and I'm not quite sure where he plays, so we will just make sure to look that one up. Following that up, we have a Campus Legends Derrick Henry, and then some more veterans to rock and roll with that one. And here we go, folks. Our first auto is going to be Kerry Vincent Jr. Kerry Vincent Jr. And we're on to our 2020 Chronicles hobby. Hey, John, do you think you can go into the sorting room? And we do have those sheets printed out of all the rookies. Okay. They're right on that main table. Can you just go grab those for me?
Sure.
Thank you. I will. I know we have them, so I'll lay those out for us so that we can have a little bit better of a break here. We have Mr. Joey Bosa of the Chargers, followed by Teddy Bridgewater of the Panthers. Then we have Jonathan Taylor of the Indianapolis Colts going to Matthew, followed by Kenneth Gainwell of the Los Angeles Chargers headed to Haley. Zach Moss of the Buffalo Bills going to Dan, followed up by Jake Fromm out of 199 going to Dan. And then we have a Mr. Tua of the Miami Dolphins headed to Haley, following that up with Jake from the Buffalo Bills going to Dan. Oh, crap. Neither of them are rookie only. All right. Never mind. Sorry about that, folks. I will do my best, but some of these more obscure rookies, they will just have to get sorted after the break. Adam Thielen right there to get things started with these veterans. Then we have a little Najee Harris of the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Kenneth. Little campus legend Aaron Rodgers. Trey Sermon of the San Francisco 49ers going to Jonathan. Following that up with Patrick Surtain II of the Denver Broncos to Matthew. A little Sammy Ellinger of the Indianapolis Colts as well going to Matthew. Then we have Kellen Mond of the Minnesota Vikings. Kellen Mond of the Minnesota Vikings to get things going with Haley right there. This one might help. It's a smaller one, but it will give a little guidance. Followed up by Aaron Rodgers to get started with the veterans right there. And here we go. Our next auto is going to be Mr. Javonte Williams. And that appears to be an on-card auto of the Denver Broncos. And that is going to be heading to Matt. Little Danny Jones to kick things off here with the Giants and Zeke Elliott of the Cowboys. And out of 49, it is going to be a green prism black Darnell Mooney of the Chicago Bears going to Jonathan right there. Following that up with Antonio Gibson of the Washington football team headed to Haley. Isaiah Simmons of the Arizona Cardinals going to William. Then we have a Jonathan Taylor out of 199 of the Indianapolis Colts. And DeAndre Swift, 2 DeAndre Swifts in a row of the Detroit Lions. Jordan Love to get us cooking with the veterans in this Contenders draft picks. Followed up by the campus legends Brett Favre. And then we have Mr. Michael Carter of the New York Jets. Nico Collins of the Houston Texans. Followed by Samaje Perine from the University of Oklahoma. And Elijah Molden from the University of Washington. Followed by a campus legends. That's Mr. DeAndre Hopkins of the Clemson Tigers. Melvin Gordon right there. Kenyon Drake, DK Metcalf, and then another couple of vets to wrap up that Contenders draft picks. Oh, wow. I will mag that Mooney. And here we go, folks. Our next auto we are going to have to randomize. That is Mr. KJ Costello. KJ Costello right there. And I will mag up that Mooney. And that's getting a sizzle sticker. Alrighty, on to our third pack of the Chronicles hobby. Henry Ruggs to get things started right there. Followed by Mr. of the Las Vegas Raiders going to Haley. Followed by Hollywood Brown. And then, holy heck, we have a Jalen Hurts auto out of 35 going to Haley right there. And that rated a rookie auto out of 35 is getting a sizzle sticker. What a great hit right there. We are rocking and rolling with this Chronicles hobby pack. Then we have Mr. Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles going to Haley. Joey Burrow of the Bengals headed to Kenneth right there. A little Justin Herbert of the Los Angeles Chargers going to Haley. Followed up by a Jerry Jeudy of the Denver Broncos going to Matthew. And then get ready to get more excited, Haley. We have a Prism Black Tua of the Miami Dolphins. And that is 2 sizzle stickers going to Haley in this mixer. And we are halfway through this break. Little TJ Watt to kick off our veteran rundown right there. Then we have Kenneth Gainwell of the Philadelphia Eagles going to Haley, followed by a little Travis Etienne of the Jacksonville Jaguars to Adam. Little Kyle Trask of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to Marvin, followed up by Chatarius Tutu Atwell of the Los Angeles Rams going to Edvin. Little Campus Legends Emmitt Smith, followed by Micah Parsons of the Dallas Cowboys. And then our auto is going to be Mr. B.J. Emmons. B.J. Emmons from FAU right there. Then we have a Chase Young out of 199 conference ticket of the Washington football team to Haley, followed up by Tua to get things started with our veterans in this 4th pack of Contenders draft picks. Little Drew Brees to kick things off, followed by C.D. Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys auto, or C.D. Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys Chronicles right there, heading to Matthew. DeAndre Swift of the Detroit Lions going to John. Little Jake Fromm of the Buffalo Bills headed to Dan. Then we have Mr. Jacob Eason of the Indianapolis Colts to Matt, followed by Joey Burrow of the Cincinnati Bengals going to Kenneth. And then we have Lynn Bowden Jr. of the Miami Dolphins heading to Haley. And then we have another Prism Black, and this is going to be Mr. Jacob Eason of the Indianapolis Colts going to Matt. I feel like Brett's computer must have broke because he was so furiously looking at those eBays for those 3 straight mags that we got. Stephon Diggs to get things started with our veterans. And then here we go. It is going to be Mr. Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars headed to Adam, followed by Terrace Marshall Jr. of the Carolina Panthers going to Haley. And then we have Zach Wilson of the New York Jets to Mr. CEO, followed by a Campus Legends Justin Herbert right there. A little Quiddy Pay of the Indianapolis Colts going to Matt. Gregory Rousseau of the Buffalo Bills to Dan. And then we have a Nick Bolton auto. Nick Bolton from Missouri right there. Lamar Jackson to get things kicked off with our veteran finishers in this Contenders draft picks. Yeah, Jacob Eason goes out, throws for 4 touchdowns on Sunday. That card skyrockets. Troy Polamalu of the Steelers, a little Deshaun Watson, Derrick Henry. Then we have a little Jerry Jeudy of the Denver Broncos. Jerry Jeudy of the Denver Broncos to Matt, followed by Antonio Gibson of the Washington football team to Haley. And then it's going to be Mr. Jordan Love out of 199 of the Green Bay Packers to Mr. CEO. Laviscus Chenault of the Jacksonville Jaguars going to Adam, followed up by Jonathan Taylor of the Indianapolis Colts headed to Matthew. Alrighty, and we're on to our last 2 packs of this mixer. Well, Danny Jones right there to get things kicking, followed by Mr. Gronkowski, Todd Gurley, Ryan Tannehill, a little Kyle Pitts of the Atlanta Falcons headed to Paul. Then we have Devonta Smith of the Philadelphia Eagles going to Haley. Devonta Smith of the Eagles going to Haley, followed up by Campus Legends Joe Burrow of the Bengals, followed up by Rashad Bateman of the Baltimore Ravens going to John, followed up by Rondale Moore of the Arizona Cardinals headed to William. Then we have Kadarius Toney of the Green Bay the New York Giants going to Matt. And then we have a little Marlon Tupilutu from USC is the last auto in that Contenders draft picks right there. It's like you get the 5 autos out of Contenders draft picks, but unfortunately, there's never anything too hot. We have a little Keenan Allen of the Chargers, Jim Kelly of the Buffalo Bills, and then it's going to be Mr. James Robinson out of 299. The out of 299 patch right there of Mr. James Robinson. And that's of the Jacksonville Jaguars going to Adam. Following that up with Laviska Shenault of the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. Mr. Chase Claypool of the Steelers. A little orange, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And that's going to be out of 75 of the Kansas City Chiefs headed to John. Then we have Mr. Chase Young of the Washington football team going to Haley. And a little Jake from State Farm of the Buffalo Bills going to Dan. Alrighty, let's run these rookies down. Jake Fromm of the Buffalo Bills, Chase Young of the Washington football team, Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of 75 of the Kansas City Chiefs, Chase Claypool of the Steelers, Laviska Shenault of the Jags, the Silver, Jacob Eason of the Colts, Kadarius Toney of the Giants, Rondale Moore of the Cardinals, Rashad Bateman of the Ravens, Devonta Smith of the Eagles, Kyle Pitts of the Falcons, Jonathan Taylor of the Colts, Laviska Shenault of the Jaguars, Jordan Love out of 199 of the Green Bay Packers, Antonio Gibson of the Washington football team, Jerry Jeudy of the Broncos, Gregory Rousseau of the Buffalo Bills, Kwity Paye of the Indianapolis Colts, Zach Wilson of the Jets, Terrace Marshall Jr. of the Panthers, Trevor Lawrence of the Jaguars, Lynn Bowden Jr. of the Dolphins, Joey Burrow of the Bengals, Mr. Jacob Eason of the Indianapolis Colts, Jake Fromm of the Bills, DeAndre Swift of the Lions, CeeDee Lamb of the Cowboys, Micah Parsons of the Cowboys, Chatarius Tutu Atwell of the Rams, Kyle Trask of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Travis Etienne of the Jags, Kenneth Gainwell of the Eagles, Jerry Jeudy of the Denver Broncos, Justin Herbert of the Chargers, Joe Burrow of the Bengals, Jalen Hurts of the Eagles, Henry Ruggs of the Raiders, Elijah Molden, Samaje Perine, Nico Collins of the Texans, Michael Carter of the Jets, DeAndre Swift of the Lions, Jonathan Taylor out of 199, Mr. Isaiah Simmons of the Arizona Cardinals, Antonio Gibson of the Washington football team, Kellen Mond of the Vikings, Sam Ellinger of the Colts, Patrick Surtain of the Broncos, Trey Sermon of the 49ers, Najee Harris of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then we have Jake Fromm of the Bills, Tua of the Miami Dolphins, Jake Fromm out of 199 of the Bills, Zach Moss of the Bills, Kenneth Murray of the Chargers, Jonathan Taylor of the Colts, Kevin Wallace of the Ravens, Mac Jones of the Patriots, Kyle Trask of the Buccaneers, Jamar Chase of the Bengals, and Trey Lance of the San Francisco 49ers. And before we get into the featured cards, we get to randomize Mr. KJ Costello. And we are going to randomize this one 10 times. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And that is going to Bugmeister, which is Dan with the Buffalo Bills. And now on to our featured cards. We have the Kerry Vincent Jr. auto, the BJ Emmons auto, the Marlon Tupilutu auto, and the Nick Bolton auto from Contenders draft picks. Then we have the James Robinson out of 299 and the Javonte Williams, looks like an on-card auto, James Robinson of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that is going to be heading to Adam with Javonte Williams of the Denver Broncos going to Matthew. It will happen tonight if it fills tonight. We're trying to get that to fill, and if it fills, we will fire it away. And then our 3 hits. Tua of the Miami Dolphins, Darnell Mooney of the Bears with that green out of 49. And then the out of 35, Jalen Hurts auto. Tua and Jalen Hurts going to Haley, with Darnell Mooney of the Chicago Bears going to Jonathan. And with that, we are done with break 810.